Hello guys, you're welcome back to the channel. This is 401 Styling, and today we are going to learn how to make this bubu with a fitted waist and a cowl neckline at the back. Okay, if you are new to the channel, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button, hit on the like button, and do not forget to share. So to make this, you will need a basic knowledge of how to make a bubu dress. So the first thing you are going to do is to fold your fabric into two this way, because we are going to start with the front. After the front, then we are going to cut the back. So for this, you are going to need up to 3 to 4 yards of fabric depending on the size you are working with. Okay, so for you to know how many inches you are going to fold, just like we used to do for our normal bubu, your shoulder divided by 2 plus 10 to 12 inches allowance depending on how you want it to be. Okay, so the same method for this one. Okay, because the front is going to be like that of the regular bubu and the back is just going to have the cowl effect. Okay, so for the neckline here, I'm going to use 3 inches by 3 inches, okay, to form a round neckline. So I'm going to join it with a curve. So if you want yours to be deeper or higher, you can always manipulate it. So after this, now you measure your shoulder measurement divided by 2, then you're going to add 10 to 12 inches, okay, depending on how much more fabric you have or the design you are working on. Okay, so that is what you are going to do. So after this, now the next thing you want to do, from the shoulder you go down by 1 inch to form the shoulder slope. So to do that, you are going to connect from the 1 inches down to the center front line with a straight line, just like you see me doing. Okay, so after this, now you're going to measure the opening, that is where the hand, where your hand is going to come out from. So from here, I'll go down by 11 inches. Okay, so this 11 inches is just about 1 inch below the bust point I'm working with, or better still, you can just go ahead and take measurements of your client. Okay, so after this, now you're going to connect with a straight line. So this is where you start your joining from, just like the way we used to do for our regular bubu. Okay, so I'm just going to confirm the lines again, because this my fabric is not totally straight. So I'm going to measure whatever I have, okay, at the shoulder area. I'll measure it down. So after that, now we are going to measure the gown length or the dress length, okay, for the front. Okay, but for this one, I'm going to use all of this fabric length. Okay, it's just a little bit longer than my preferred length. Okay, so after this, I'm going to cut out just like you see me doing. So the next thing you are going to do now is to cut it straight down, but before I cut it, I'm going to measure again just to confirm and to create a straight line. So if you watch this video to this point, please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, click on the share button and subscribe to the channel. So guys, I'm done cutting the front pattern, and this is what we have. Okay, this is how it's going to be. We are going to have a round neckline. Okay, so after this, now the next thing you want to do is to place this on the back body. So lay the back, you lay it flat just like we lay the front, but by the time you want to place the front on it, you make sure that there is allowance here, just like we used to draft our, just like we used to do for our cowl neck top, the same way. But this time around, you know, it's a dress, so we'll know this pattern. So the more allowance you have here, the more falling effect is going to have. So you're going to place it in a slant line. It's not going to be straight, okay, it's going to be slanted. And as for the lower part, this is how it's going to look like. You make sure that it aligns at the lower part, so definitely the shoulder area is going to align too. So you trace out the length, you make sure that the length is the same thing at the hem of the dress. So from here, I'm just going to connect straight down, and I'm going to cut the side as well. So same thing on the shoulder line is going to be slanted, of course, because we already slant the whole fabric, so definitely the shoulder area is going to be slanted. Once you have here, the more the cowl is going to go down. So if you don't want it to be much, you can simply reduce the allowance you have there. So the next thing we'll do now is to cut out the dress length, and we are going to cut out the shoulder as well. Then we are going to cut out the side. After which you are done with that, you are going to come to this neckline area. So at this point when the shoulder start from, you are going to notch it just like you see me doing. So that is where you are going to join together. You are going to leave this part. After that, the next thing you want to do is to join the shoulder area together. Okay, so this part is where you are going to have at the center back. This is why you need more fabric for the back pattern. Okay, so the next thing I'll do now is to join my shoulder together, but before that I'll turn the neckline using a facing or a bias tip. So if you have a bias tip, you can use it, and if you have a facing just like this one that I have here, you can also make use of it. So to cut out the facing for this, you're just going to cut it out using your neckline, your dress neckline, just like we used to do for our regular neckline. So after turning the neckline, I'll join the shoulder together, then we'll come back to work on the neckline. So this is what you're going to have. As you can see, the cowl effect is coming out already. Okay, so and then after that, you are going to measure around this neckline. Remember that we have a strip of fabric, so that it will protect the cloth from falling off from the neckline. We are going to join the fabric to this neckline area. So you're going to measure out what you have on the round neckline, because you don't want the strap that you want to fix at the back, you don't want it to be too tight, so that the fabric the dress will be able to enter the person's head. So whatever measurement you have, you had 1 to 1.5 inches for the joining allowance. So this is what I want to do now. I'm just going to cut the strap fabric with the width of 2 inches. So I'll be having 1 inch by the time I'm done. So you can decide to cut as wide as you want, but it shouldn't be too wide, just like the one you see on the thumbnail. Now I'm done joining it, and this is what I have. So after this now, you can just press it with your pressing iron if your fabric does not relax. So after this now, you're going to come back to the neckline, and you're going to fix this like so. Okay, this will support the neckline and avoid the dress from falling off your shoulder. Remember that the back is wider. Okay, so this strap is just going to be like a guide, okay, like a support. So this is what I'm going to do now. I'll take it to the sewing machine and stitch it down, then we'll come back to the next step. Now after the neckline, the next thing we want to do now is to create a rope that we are going to use to tie the waist. That is what is going to give us our fitted waist. So from the shoulder, you measure down to your waist area or to the person's waist area, and you mark a straight line just like I did. So after this now, you're going to find the midpoint of the fabric. So what I did was just to measure from the both side, and whatever you have, you divide into 2 equal half. I already did that, and from that midpoint you mark your nipple to nipple measurement, okay, from that center line. That is, if you have 10, you measure 5 on both sides. So the difference or the distance between the 2 ropes here, just like the one I have here, you create a rope like this. The distance between the 2 ropes is going to be your bust span measurement. Okay, so it can be exactly on the waist or 1 inch above the waist, depending on what the person wants. Okay, but the waist is okay. Okay, so just to give us the snatch or fitted waist effect. So after joining the ropes, after stitching it down, I will secure the edge of my fabric, and I'm going to join the front and back together by the sides. I'll secure the hem of the dress, and we are done with our bubu. Okay, so yeah, I'll just do this now and show us the final look. So guys, this is what we have at the end. Just like you see, the front is just like our regular bubu without tying the rope yet. Then after which you have tied the rope, this is how it's going to be. Okay, the waist is going to be firm and it will not be too free. And this is the back. So the deeper you want the cowl to be, the more allowance you will add, and the higher you want the cowl to be, the lower allowance you add, just like I've said before. Okay, so that'll be all for this tutorial. Thank you very much for watching up to this moment. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button to subscribe to the channel, like this video, share this video. Thank you.